My name is John Vucetich, and I'm a professor at Michigan Technological University. I've been leading research on the wolves and moose of Isle Royale for 3 decades now. I do that work in collaboration with my colleagues also from Michigan Tech, Rolf Peterson and Sarah Hoy, and a big part of that project has also been a collaboration with the Detroit Zoological Society. So the life of a professor is reasonably varied. I have teaching responsibilities to undergraduates. I have research responsibilities, and it's my research responsibilities that give to such a fairly diverse kind of life, really. I have many, many days, day after day, that are in the office, and then I have many, many days, day after day, that are in the field. It's both summer field work and winter field work, and winter field work involves flying in a small aircraft, making observations on a daily basis of the wolves and moose on Isle Royale. And again, so it's one of these lives that requires kind of a lot of patience for the same thing, whatever it is that you're doing. Whether it be, lots of days of rain and mosquitoes, or lots of days of really quite chilly weather, or lots of days of feeling like you sat down in an office too much. It just kind of takes the endurance and the patience to keep through those things, because it turns into good stuff. One of the things that's been so rich and rewarding for myself, for the work that I do, has been able to advise policymakers and advocates who are interested in doing good by wolves, policymakers who are charged with making decisions about wolves, and just giving them both the best available science to be able to make those decisions, and also to be able to give them the best ethical perspectives on how to make those decisions. So the work that I do comes with as many challenges as it does rewards. And in some cases, for me, I think the rewards and the challenges are almost exactly the same thing. You can't study wolves very long without realizing that they're controversial, and it's so easy to come across people who just disagree with you. And talking with people who disagree with one's own self is super hard, because we have strong beliefs about how we think the world ought to be, and then we find somebody else who's got similarly strong beliefs about the world being something different. And so one of the greatest challenges is just coming to understand why it is that different people think differently, and when it makes sense, to be able to explain my own views as best I can to that person. Sometimes that leads to letting them change their minds, or letting them see things in a different way, and as often as not, I'm able to see things in a different way. One of the things that's important if you want to go into a field like this is to know a little bit about how to prepare. My goodness, there's so many different ways to prepare. I've been doing this work for 3 decades now, and my original training was in ecology, but I also did a fair bit of training in genetics. I studied statistics for a while. I've moved on to study social science and policy and ethics. And so, of course, you can't study all of that at once. And it's very important to pick one thing and become very good at it. And I would say for young people, if you're interested, especially in the ecology, the thing that might not be obvious is to study as much math as you feel comfortable studying. Because math, especially statistics, that's the language of science. And that's how we really draw conclusions and make discoveries that come from our observations of the animals that we care so much about. If what you're really interested in is the conservation of wildlife, then what I would say, the thing to really focus on as best you can and as much as you enjoy would be what's referred to as the human dimensions of wildlife, or the human dimensions of conservation. And so this is in particular policy, or the behavioral sciences, especially the behavioral sciences of how and why it is that humans behave the way that they do. Because so much of how it is that animals are or aren't conserved has to do with how humans treat them.